All right, what's up, guys? So today, what we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about macros, everyone's favorite. I get this question quite often. What is a macro? What is a macro? Well, I'm not talking about macaroni. So let's get into it, right? Today, we're going to talk about what a macro is. So first off, macro is short for macronutrient, okay? And so these are the main nutrients that our bodies need. And we generally need these in a larger quantity. So macro means these are items or nutrients that we need larger for our body. And there's going to be three types of macronutrients we're going to talk about today. So it's broken down into carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. You hear this all the time. I want to go a little bit more in depth on it today. And so when it comes down to your macros, when you hear the word macro, we're talking about carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Three main macros that are needed in order to sustain the human body. Now, it's important to understand that each of these macronutrients does have a specific calorie value per gram, right? So what that means is when we're talking about carbohydrates, this is why people say, oh, carbs are bad for you. They're actually full of nonsense, right? Because carbohydrates have 4 calories per gram. So every gram of carbohydrates you eat, you receive 4 calories. That being said, 10 carbohydrates is 40 calories. Proteins have 4 calories per gram. Same thing. 10 grams of protein, that's only 40 calories. Now, fats, on the other hand, which are important, don't get me wrong, fats are important. Fats have 9 calories per gram. So if you eat 10 grams of fats, you're eating 90 calories. That's 50 calories more than you would with carbohydrates or protein. All right, so why are we having this call today? Why are macros important? So first off, macros are important for your energy supply. They are your primary source of energy. Carbohydrates, fats, and protein, those are your sources of energy. Without those 3 macronutrients in your body cannot function the way it's supposed to, the way it's made, and your body will fail you. You'll be unable to have the energy sources, both physically, mentally, even emotionally, without a proper balance of these macronutrients. Macronutrients are important for specific roles in our bodily functions. So first off, let's talk about carbohydrates, the evil macronutrient, according to so many people out there. It drives me crazy. Carbs are not the bad guy, okay? So carbohydrates, first off, they are your quick energy source, which means if you're feeling depleted in your days, if you're feeling tired because you're full-time working, going to school, you have kids, you have a busy life, all this stuff that's going on, it's probably because you have a very low carb system going on. It is your quick energy source. You need carbs in order to function. But here is why carbs are so important. This next one I want to talk about, and we're going to go a little bit more in depth on this because I really want everyone watching this video to truly understand carbs are important for your brain to function. Your brain needs carbs. It's a necessity. It's not a maybe, it's a for sure. They have something called the keto flu. Keto flu is when you go keto, you get sick because your brain stops functioning properly, right? Now you get over it because our bodies are created to maintain homeostasis or balance. Our bodies are created to find that balance and eventually you get over it. But any diet that makes you sick is not healthy, okay? So carbohydrates are your quick energy source and they're important for brain function. Protein, which you guys hear me couch on you all the time, eat more protein. Protein is for muscle repair and growth, right? So when you exercise, your muscles are broken down. You need that protein in order to help them repair and recover, but you also need that protein for muscle growth. Not to mention, and this is something so many people don't talk about or even know, protein is important for your immune function. So if you're getting sick often, you might be low in protein. Not always, that could play a role. So increasing that protein will help your immune function better. And then we got fats. Fats are also important, especially this next one we talk about, especially for the ladies out there. And as you get older, fats are important for your hormone production. It helps produce the hormones you need in order for your body to self-regulate yourself. And it's important for cell structures. Our bodies are constantly getting rid of and rebuilding new cells throughout the body, and having the right percentage or amount of fat in the body is necessary for those cell structures. Now, when it comes to weight management, because realistically, 90% of the people that come work with me are looking for weight loss and weight management. Properly balancing your macros can help with weight loss, muscle gain, and maintenance. So knowing the right numbers or having the right numbers to follow are imperative to ensure that you're able to either gain weight, gain muscle, lose weight, or maintain. Okay, so different number combinations are important for different reasons. Therefore, it's imperative to understand that when you're going through a fitness journey, you're going to be facing different tasks along the way. You might be on a weight loss portion, you might be on a fat loss portion. Weight loss and fat loss are two different things. You might be on the toning portion, which there's no such thing as toning, but what toning is the depletion of fat and the increase of lean muscle, which makes you look toned. So you might deplete the fat in a 6 to 8 week period and then focus on building more lean muscle. You might do it both at the same time. Once again, everyone's body's different, but having the right macronutrient calculations will help you get there. So now we want to talk about how to track those macros. Okay, tracking the macros is important. One of the easiest way to track your macros is to use food labels. Food labels are going to give you the information of your macronutrient content. Most packaged foods, they do have labels that will list their macronutrient content, and keeping track and knowing what foods have a different balance of macros. This item has more protein than fats. This item has more fats than protein. This item, and starting to learn those things will help you stay on track with your fitness goals. And then investing in a food scale. Food scales are super helpful, right? If you weigh your food out, it can provide you the most accurate macronutrient values. Food scales are between $15 to $20 for a cheaper one. They have more expensive ones that are upwards of $100. But for $15 to $20, you can get a food scale that will help you figure out exactly how many ounces of what item you're eating. And that right there will help you keep track of those numbers. And then utilizing apps or tools. There's a lot of different apps and tools we can utilize. Currently in our new app, what we're focusing on is meal plans so that you can learn what those numbers look like. By creating a meal plan, you're able to see what 6 ounces, how much 6 ounces of protein looks like, and what a specific amount of veggies looks like. And then you'll learn how to utilize that technique. And then if you want to learn how to track your food, you can let me know. We can go through that as well. Now, understanding that in order to reach your goals, like I said a little while ago, it really depends on the goals, and you got to customize those macros to it, right? So the ratio of macros that one should consume really depends on various factors, including your age, your activity level, and your fitness goals. So for an example, if you're older, your macros will be different than someone that's younger. If you have a sedentary job, so the only movement you get into your life is your exercises, your macros will be different from someone that's on their feet 8 hours a day, walking 8 hours a day for whatever position or job they have. So different numbers are relative to each person, your age, your gender, all of that play a huge role in it, right? And so it's important to understand that, right? So that you can get that specific goal and those specific numbers that we're looking for. It's easy to Google how to track my food. It's easy to Google macronutrient calculations, but depending on your goals and these other factors and really learning what your life actually is super beneficial there. So some of the common macro ratios we want to look at. If your goal is weight loss, when we're talking about weight loss, we want higher protein, moderate fats, and lower carbs. Now I'm saying lower carbs, not no carbs. I'm not saying starve yourself with carbs, because once again, our bodies need those carbs to function, but going on that lower carb area will help your body utilize the fat storage in your body as your energy sources. If your goal is muscle gain, you're trying to put on more muscle, you want higher protein, higher carbs, and moderate fats. Carbs are stored in the muscle as glycogen, which helps your muscles be fuller, and you'll gain more muscle by eating higher protein, higher carbs with moderate fats. Now, if your goal is maintenance, you're happy with your body, you're happy with where you're at, you want to maintain that weight and that look, you want to go for a more balanced approach with thinking about 40% carbs, 30% fats, 30% proteins. All of this information right here will be uploaded on the post as well, but we just wanted to give you a brief breakdown and understanding of macronutrients so that there's no confusion moving forward. As always, if you have any questions about this, just reach out to us and talk to you soon.